Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've recorded and uploaded anything over here, and it's kind of strange to talk to the camera today, but I've stumbled upon something interesting recently that I thought I would like to share with all of you. So a few months ago, I built an app using Power Apps and SharePoint. On Power Apps, you're able to surface the documents that have been uploaded into the document library and also have the ability to mark the documents as favorite, and also have the ability to view them in a separate list. Now, if you're familiar with SharePoint, you would know that you are not able to mark an asset or uploaded document in your SharePoint library as favorite. You can mark a site as favorite, but not your document. So today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a workaround on how you can build this functionality using Power Apps. So let's get started. Now, first, let me show you what we want to achieve in this app. What I have here is my Power Apps and is connected to a SharePoint document library. And obviously I've uploaded all my cute little bunny pictures. There's Snowy and Bella on this library and you can see all of them here. As you can see, I've built in these little stars on every card of this gallery. And what I can do is I could mark it as favorite. If I click on it, so now it's yellow in color, which means it's favorite, and then I also can unmark the pictures I do not want in my favorite list, and I can remove it. So now it's no longer favorite. And what I've done here as well is I have built in two separate galleries, one more like filtering of the gallery, one to show all the documents I've uploaded regardless, and another one just to show the favorite documents. So now let me show you how to do this. It's really easy and you don't even need to know code. It's basically a low code way workaround to get this achieved. Now the first thing you have to do is to set up your SharePoint document library. So here I've created a document library and I've also uploaded all the pictures that I want to display on my app. Now very importantly, you have to create a new column. I've named this column user favorite. So what this column does is it captures the individual users that mark that particular uploaded assets as favorite. So in this way, it could be personalized to that particular person. So like for instance, Elaine have marked this as favorite. You see Elaine's name appearing here. If John have marked this as favorite as well, then you see Elaine and John appearing as favorite in this column. So what I'm using here is the person attribute column. Person attribute column in SharePoint allows you to capture multiple users, multiple SharePoint users. So that would automatically help you personalize the favorite checklist on your app. So now that we have configured the SharePoint, let's go to the Power Apps. Now this is the app that I showed you in the beginning. I'm not going to show you how to connect to SharePoint or how to display the uploaded assets document library on SharePoint. If you want to know more about this, I will share the link to Shane Young's video in the description below. And yeah, you could learn from there on how to do that because he talks about it in very detail. Instead, I'm just going to jump straight into how to build in this making assets as your favorite functionality. So I've created a screen over here, and this is basically a gallery, and this gallery is pointing to the document library. Here I'm just displaying all the uploaded assets I have, all the uploaded pictures I have on this gallery. There's no filtering whatsoever. Now next thing I'm gonna do is I need to add the image that would differentiate whether any indicator. For me it's a picture image, but you can use anything, an icon or whatever of your liking. It is to differentiate whether this particular picture is marked as favorite or not. Okay, so what am I going to do firstly is to first add an image. Here I will use an SVG to display the star instead of a picture. Oops. The stupid things I do, if I don't click on the template, on gallery template, and you just add the image, it will just appear outside of your gallery. So just want to delete this. Now I click on my gallery, click on the template. The easiest way is to click on the template, and then I'm gonna add an image. So this image by default is showing the thumbnail. I don't want to show the thumbnail, just gonna remove it. Okay. Okay. Now what I've done is on the app on start, I have defined the SVG for both the yellow star and the blue star. So the add favorite is the blue star and the favorite is the yellow star. Now if you want to get these SVG images, you can find it everywhere in Google, or even better, Michael Devaney have created a library of this stuff, which I'll put it in my link below as well. So it's already formatted to Power Apps. You could just copy the whole string and paste it in Power Apps, and you do not need to make any changes to the code. So let's go back to the app and I'll show you. Now on image, I'll just do add favorite and see how it shows the blue star, and then if I go favorite, it will show the yellow star. It's just easier that I have it predefined, so I don't need to do if else with the large string. So now I have the blue star and the yellow star. Now the next thing I need to do is to write a formula on this image so that it displays the correct indicator, whether that depending on whether I have marked that picture as favorite or not. So it has to read SharePoint list. You have to read the column that I've added just now, which is the add favorite column, to see whether Elaine is one of the record in that column for that line item. If it is, then I'll show the yellow star. If I'm not there, then it'll show the blue star. Next, we need to tell the app whether to display the yellow star or the blue star. So when we create the SharePoint column with the person attribute, it is actually a lookup to the person table in SharePoint. On the person table, it stores the user's name as well as the user's email. Now, for somebody to use both Power Apps and SharePoint, or should I say for somebody to access the documents from SharePoint on the Power App, that person have to be both a user in SharePoint as well as Power Apps. So what we're going to do is we need to get the email address of this login user and go back to SharePoint and check if this email already been stored in that column, in that person column for this particular picture. If it is, then we change it to the yellow star. If not, then it's a blue star. So how we do this, again on the on start of the app, when the app loads, I already capture what is the user login. So if I come over here, let me show you where I got it. So I already set the login email of the user to user.email. So this is the formula that you use to get the login user of this app. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the image here and I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna tell the app, hey, if the login user, login email in this item dot, my column name is favorite, user favorite dot email, then show me the yellow star, or else show me the blue star. Now I forgot what is, add favorite is my blue star. So Once you put in this formula, you can see that some of these have turned yellow and some of these have turned blue. Now let's go back to the SharePoint to check it out. So let's look at this picture with the ID 4 and 5 and 10. So I'll go to SharePoint and then we'll look for, let's sort this ID to smaller to large. I hope that works. Yeah. So now if you look at 4 and 5, Elaine is on the user favorite, as well as 11. Now you must be wondering why I use email and not the first name, last name, because there might be multiple people with the same name. There might be 5 John Smith and the system will get confused. The system would not know that which John Smith is the one that marked it as favorite. As long as your name is John Smith, it will show that you already marked that as favorite. So to make it more unique, I've used the email address. Now lastly, we'll go back to the app and we'll create a button to filter this gallery based on favorite and non-favorite items. So I'm just gonna add a button over here. You could, again, up to your liking, you could use gallery filtering, you could use a label, but here I'm just gonna use a button. I'm gonna call this favorite list, and then I'll have another button that shows all lists. Okay, so on the favorite button, I'm gonna use an indicator to show which button is pressed, whether I selected the favorite list or the all favorite list button. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set a variable. So if you hit favorite, I'm just going to set gallery filter to 1, and if you hit all lists, I'm going to set the gallery filter to 2. Now I'm going to make sure that I'm using the same variable. Okay, so now the app knows which button I hit. We now have to filter the gallery based on which button that I've selected, right? Now let's filter the gallery. So on the gallery at the moment, it's showing everything. So what we're going to do is first we're going to tell the gallery which button has been selected. So if filter, I think it's gallery filter equals to 2, which is if they select the all items, then just show everything, or else I want to filter based on only show the items that I've marked as favorite, which means that my user email is stored against that individual item in SharePoint document library in the user favorite column. So I'll filter the gallery, I'll filter the source, which is artifact, where my login email, which we've defined earlier on start, this is storing the user login, equals to the column that I have used, which is user favorite dot email. Now because this column over here has multiple, another close parenthesis which I left out, sorry. Now because this column stores multiple values, it could be Elaine, John Smith, apple pie, etc. So we can't use equal, instead we use in. So it's trying to find in the whole list of users in user favorite, does Elaine exist? Now you will realize that once you use in, you got this warning sign here to say that there's delegation issues. That's because in itself is not a delegable function. So if you are looking through a large list of SharePoint records, one thing you can do is to go to the file settings and set the max value of delegation to maximum of 2000, or if it's even larger list than that, then you got to do a workaround like using flow, etc. But that is story for other time. At the moment, we're just focusing on how to mark as favorite and to filter it. So now as you see, once I wrote this formula, I can try and run it. Now if I click on my favorite items button, it will only show what I mark as favorite, and if I go to all items, it'll mark as everything. So that's all I want to show today. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from today. And happy trying, happy power wrapping. Bye!